everyone, welcome back to my channel. Some time ago I uploaded a tutorial on how to replicate this stitch. It's called a straight stitch or an across stitch on Ankara fabric. Someone requested that I make the exact video on a plain fabric or white fabric. Therefore, I'm going to bring that to life right now. I'm going to be making use of this plain fabric as well as this crystal beads. The first thing to do is to start by creating a starting knot. We are going to create our starting knot here. I'm going to bead from here to show you. We are going to create a starting knot here, or you can start from the back if your fabric is not lined. But if your fabric is lined, we don't want our stitches to be showing on the right side of our fabric. Therefore, you are going to pinch the surface of the upper parts to create your starting knot. This is how to create a starting knot. Let's pinch again. Pinch a little bit of your fabric, then such that when your fabric is lined, it is not showing at all. The pinching or the stitch will not show at all on your fabric. Now we are assuming our fabric is not lined. I already created my starting knot. Now I'm going to pick some crystal bead that will accommodate from this line to this line. That is going to be the yardstick. Let me pick about 4 crystal beads. That should be able to accommodate the line or to contain the line. I'm going to measure it. I think I need one more. 4 is going to cover that surface area. Place your needle, place your beads right on the first place you made your securing knots, making sure that the end of your bead is touching that place. Then cross check your bead at the other side to make sure that the end of your bead is also equally touching the line here. I hope that is clear. Right on that place, on the opposite of your stitch here, insert your needle there. Then pull your needle forward to where you want your next beadwork to be sewn. This is it. I've inserted it opposite here. Then I'm going to pull my needle forward to where I want my next beadwork to be sewn. If you want spaces to be between your beadworks, you can pull it further forward. But if you want a cluster effect on your beadwork such that the beads are leaning on each other back to back, touching each other, you are not going to pull it far. Feed your needle with another bead. Then right where the hole of the bead ends here, take note of it. Right at the other side where the hole of the bead ends, insert your needle right there. Then pull it forward again to work your next bead. I hope that is clear. Can you see? It's just simple. That is how to go about it. It's as simple as that. Feed your needle again. Drop it. Lay it on the surface you want to bead. Right where the last bead ends here, insert your needle there. Insert your needle. Then pull it forward to where you want your next bead to be worked. If you want to give a space between your work, you can pull it all the way more. I'm going to give an example now. All the way forward to where you want to work the next. For example, you can decide to be following this pattern, giving spaces between your work. I hope that is clear. But if you want it to be leaning on each other closely, you are not, that is when you are not going to pull your needle far away from it. I hope that is clear. Here now, I'm going to insert my needle here and pull it forward to where I want my next beadwork to be sewn. Beadwork depends on your creativity. You can decide to give some space, make a couple of clusters, then give space, make a couple, give space, make a couple, give space. So that will form another beautiful design on your bead work. I'm going to be making it in threes, in group of threes, and I'll be giving space to show you what I mean. For you to have more in-depth knowledge of beading and for you to be able to interpret any beadwork you see, you have to be able to analyze and interpret it, know the type of beads used, know the type of stitches that is being used on any particular beadwork. Make sure you register for our online beading class, BCG, which means Beader's Compact Guide. Make sure you register for you to step up your game. You need to step up your game before the next year. Okay? Don't let me digress so much. Here is 4. You can decide to give another space now, but make sure if you are going to be giving space, make sure that the space you give between your beadwork, the space are equal. Yes, they should be of the same length, equal length, dimension, whatever. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. That is just the simple steps you are going to be following. It's a continuous process. I'm going to bead this now and show you how to end your beadwork. Okay, now we want to create our ending knot. Because I'm not working any other beadwork, I'm going to pass my needle all the way to the back. That is when your fabric is not lined. When your fabric is not lined, that is when you can pass it all the way to the back to make your securing knot. But when your fabric is lined, I'm going to show you again how to do it. You can knot it twice so that you'll be double sure that your bead is safe and it can't break and fall off your garment. I hope that is clear. Now, what I love to do, I always love to hide the tail of my thread before cutting. I don't just like to cut and leave my thread tail hanging. This is what I do. It makes your work neater. Can you see? Now I'm going to flip it to the other side and show you how you should end your beading when you are beading on a lined garment. Okay, I'm going to do that here. This is my securing knot. It's very important when you want to start a beadwork. Now I'm going to feed my needle with 4 beads. In case you are wondering what size of bead I'm using, this is size 4 crystal beads. I think it's the smallest size of crystal bead. So I'm going to work a pair here, bring it forward to where I want my next beadwork to be worked. Okay, after this now I'm going to show you how to end your knot while beading on a lined garment. Okay, pinch it. You are going to pinch it instead of passing it all the way to the back. You are going to pinch it as I've done here, then pinch again it to form a loop. Insert your needle into the loop, then tighten it. By so doing, you have secured your knot. Now you can pass your thread back into the bead to hide it. You can pass it into the bead to hide it, then cut, or insert your thread into the garment, making sure that it's not trapping the lining such that it will now be showing on your inner on your lining inside the garment. No, your stitches should not be seen inside your garments when beading, except if the garment is not lined. With all that being said, we have gotten to the end of this tutorial. Make sure you like my channel, share and subscribe. Invite other friends to join our DIY farm. For more in-depth knowledge of beading, once again, subscribe to our BCG's beading class.